Friends, if you're looking, you're in for a treat because we've got them right here. Flip City Magazine. Remember Mad Magazine? Then it went woke? Well, don't worry. Flip City has no chance of going woke. That's right. 4 times a year, you'll get an actual printed magazine full of jokes, stories, comics, and more, all about today's pop culture, entertainment, and woke politics. Flip City takes terrible entertainment trends we love to hate with hilarious parodies of Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, Star Trek, Hunters, and more. Trust me when I say there is nothing else like Flip City on the market. So subscribe today. It will be delivered in print, or you can even get it digitally if you're one of those wacky Zoomers. Either way, follow our link and sign up today, and if you put in midnight, you get an extra 10% off. Check out Flip City Magazine today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to take your seats and shake them! It's time for Toxic Femininity, brought to you by Midnight Edge. That's right! Hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday evening. It's Tuesday in some places already. So say hello to us. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Tom Connors. I am your MC for the hottest show on the internet. It is time for some Monday night horror. And look at this. We have a lovely panel of ladies. We have Nina. Holy crap. You look spiffy tonight. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. I'm wearing my weird looking Star Trek looking shirt. I'm here and thank you for being here, everybody. Make sure you smash the like, share the stream, all that good stuff. We got a good show tonight.
Yes. Hello, Nina. Hopefully you had a great weekend, I hope.
I did. I tried to watch the eclipse, but we got a really weird looking, half partial eclipse that it didn't quite work out. So I was like, I'm just going to go kill bugs and Helldiver instead. Bye.
I had a total eclipse of the heart. See, I went from just liking turtles to loving them.
Oh.
So it's went from
I like turtles.
to I love turtles. No.
Aww.
Anyway, somebody who is ready for the eclipse-alist, is it the apocalypse or the I don't know, the world didn't end. Michelle. Those are some snazzy glasses you got on there.
Totally can't see out of them.
Oh my God. You know what's so funny is
Wonder.
one of the reasons I can't watch the eclipse properly anyway is because I don't have a pair of those. And the last time I tried to do it, I pulled a Trump and then I almost went blind. And I was like, okay, this isn't worth it. I was just like, I think I can squint it.
They definitely work though, because it was just kind of like, oh, it's kind of dark. And then you put these on, it was like, oh, there it is.
Who turned off the lights on me? Where'd the big light bulb go? It was there a minute ago.
Oh my gosh. That thing is too creepy.
It's probably what he said today.
Probably.
But back again, one of the awesomest YouTubers out there, Gothix TV. How you been? Been a tick.
I've been so fabulous. Thank you guys for having me. I too tried looking at the eclipse, partial eclipse. I just put my sunglasses on because that's a genius 9,000 IQ move. I saw nothing though.
Hopefully you don't go blind now. But,
I'll be fine.
I've heard there's nothing going on in your life, nothing on social media. It's been pretty slow in the last week or so. Nobody's talking smack about you or anything like that.
Crickets. People have forgotten me. He got a soundboard for everything, man.
I do. That's why the MC extraordinaire. But welcome. We're glad to have you back, and you have been a bit of the talk with the whole black girls gaming business going on. We're going to get into that as well as other things. So you're obviously the perfect panelist to have here tonight.
Okay.
Since you've never ever had anything to do with them before, I apologize, and I shouldn't even assume that you ever had anything ever to do with black girl gamers other than looking at their Facebook one time in a night somewhere between
You were
midnight
employed.
and 1 a.m.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
Never actually talked to anybody.
It's all in my
thought about
head.
it, but never did it.
It's all in my head.
whatever other excuse they can come up with, right?
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
But yes, thank you for being here. We also have, for the first time, Vex Electronica. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I can't complain. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I like your little name there, Brown Magic Bonus Hole TM, and you've trademarked
Yeah.
it so nobody can steal it.
Exactly. I'm
Brown.
trying to be trans inclusive. That's all. Since we can't say vagina anymore, I figure it's I like the
We
trans. You
can't?
know, they
Mm.
make funny videos. They say stupid things. You know, I just want to include them in my community as well.
Can I
That's
still
all.
say mangina?
I mean, whatever makes you feel included, you do you. It's all good.
Okay. All right. I just had to check.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
My
it's we're glad
Vex
to have
is
you.
a fellow Canadian. I just like to point out, but she's
Oh,
one of
that
the
explains a
base.
lot.
Yeah, she's one of the base Canadians though. So very like so based that she's basically banned from going to the States because she's like, no, not vaxxed. She refuses to fucking, hop on board with the nonsense. And I really truly appreciate that. So welcome to the toxic female space here, Vex Electronica.
Thank
you.
you. Oh.
Yeah,
I
we
was
can
gonna say,
blame
I was like, what do
Canada,
you mean
but
they
not
won't?
based Canadians like Vex. They're trying to make a difference here.
I was like, why wouldn't they let her leave the country? Did she not like live up to her Canadian ship and she's got to go back and try again, or what?
I
Mhm.
went back to Canada because my husband is in the US, so I'm trying to immigrate.
Oh
But
shit!
the US unfortunately added the jab onto the required vaccinations list. So it's been 2.5 years since I applied. Just because I don't have that, I'm still waiting. And because I came back into Canada, the country I was born and raised in, they decided to fine me twice, two $6,000 tickets for coming
Jeez.
back in without the jab as well.
All right, here's what
So
you do: you fly to Mexico,
I like where this
and
is
then
going.
and then you run across the border.
I'll show you the way.
Nobody
Vex.
will say shit.
I really should have done that from the get-go. Like I could be that kind of brown in all honesty. So
They won't know that. They won't care.
they don't
No.
know the difference. Brown is brown to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's all the same.
This is true.
Is that not crazy though? She has a literal husband in the US and trying to get here, but people can just come across the border.
Mhm.
It's
It is
wild. I know.
infuriating.
That's
actually.
infuriating.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same thing for me. Like during the vax time, I mean, we made fun of it a lot, like because everybody was like, "Come to the meetups. You could just go over the border." And I'm like, this is the most ridiculous fact is that everyone who tries to actually follow the rules and do things the proper way in a civilized society gets fucked over by all the people who don't follow the rules and
Mhm.
aren't living part of the society. And they're promoted and they're fine and they're living their best life, and then the rest of us just get shafted. And that's 2024 clown world.
Right. I'm even the right kind of color that the US wants. So I don't understand why there's still a holdup. I'm a woman. I'm not white. I can be gay if need be. So
You just have to
Just
advertise
the right
that
amount of
more, I think.
alcohol.
right, exactly. Give me a few drinks. I can be there.
Oh my god,
That's most
hilarious.
women. They're only like 3 drinks shy.
Mm.
But no. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We got a lot to talk about tonight, so I'm gonna bump
Mhm.
out of the way for you ladies because you got some super chats first. Well, at least one. We
Yeah.
got a member chat from Stone Racket, who's been here for. He just became a member. Sorry, he hasn't been here that long, but I think he has been before. So he came
YouTube
back.
does that sometimes. They like take away your thing
Oh,
'cause
they
maybe you
unsub
don't
people.
renew for like a month or something, and then they're like, "Oh, sorry for not being a member for a month," but even though you
Nah.
were a member for like 12 months before that, screw
We
you.
don't hold anything against you. We just hold it against YouTube.
Exactly. By the way, your icon's really cute.
It is. And then we got
Cajun
Cajun Corey.
Corey's here. Thanks for the $5. Says Vex love.
Indeed,
What about the
send
rest
some
of
Vex
us, Cajun Corey? God.
Yeah. Pony up.
All right. We have stuff to talk about. We're going to start today off with what's going on with Gothics because we did a whole show last week about all the gaming stuff. We had Mark Kern on, we had Savvy on, we had a really good show about everything that's going on with gaming and DEI and all that stuff. But I wanted to kind of follow it up with what's going on with Gothics and Black Girl Gamers or gaming. That because they made a big deal out of this whole thing with Gothics, and then she had a response. But I just wanted to kind of get her thoughts on everything that's going on in gaming right now and with them. And just I don't know, talk about it. Gothics, what is going on with you and your previous employer? I'm just joking. I know.
I mean, nothing is going on now. They told me they're not going to respond to me again, or address me again, rather. So it's been awfully quiet the last couple of days, which I'm happy. But yeah, I mean, it's so good to see the gaming community be aware to the DEI, because I think that there is this idea within gaming that, keep politics out of gaming, but politics have always been in gaming. It's been in small doses and acceptable doses, and I think people are now starting to see how the political arena and gaming overlap, and especially with like gaming journalists and these DEI communities, it's like it's so obvious that they're pushing a certain agenda, a cultural agenda. And so, yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago, I got harassed by a lot of their members. I was a part of Black Girl Gamers for a little bit, as well as another community that emphasizes skin color and safe space and all the, the buzzwords. And, they turned on me after I stopped subscribing to their narrative. So it was actually them that got me to wake up and basically give me my red pill. And I fell into the hands of my white supremacy oppressors, according to them. And so, yeah, I saw them trending the other day because they, I guess, have been consulting with gaming companies to inject certain narratives into video games. And I just, if you're a company or a community that claims to be about diversity and tolerance, and I have a track record with you showing me you're anything but that, absolutely, I'm going to tell people about it. And they didn't like that.
No, they didn't. And they made like a 38-part thread about you, which was, kind of crazy.
That's unhinged. That is ex-girlfriend status right there.
100%. That's exactly what it's like. We're not going to go through this at all because you already did that in your own video, which I recommend everyone go watch. But I did mark one spot of it, which I thought was really important, which is to add context to what they're saying. So for people who have actually gone and read that thread and are wondering what's going on, part of your response was the fact that, sorry, you have like terrible pause face on here. Part of the response was this message here, which was that you did specifically tell them what was going on and actually complained about a specific person. And then they decided not only to not look into it, but to basically block you. Do you want to just comment on that for a minute?
Yeah. So again, just for context, this is a community that claims to be a safe space for people who look like me. And obviously they weren't, because I was getting harassed from a lot of their members. And so long story short, I reached out to them. This was a couple of years ago. And I was like, hey, can you tell your members to stop harassing me? And it wasn't just mean tweets, by the way, for added context. Like, these people were literally contacting my sponsors and trying to convince them to stop working with me. And I'm like, you are putting yourself in a leadership position in this community. So I expect you to at least advocate for me. Tell your community to stop. And they wouldn't. So in this message, I specifically list one member, and this is just one instance of me trying to reach out, but I specifically mentioned one member and I said, this is what this person is doing. Can you do something about it? And they blocked me. And so in that thread that they posted, they conveniently left out the portion of the message where I specifically mentioned someone and what they were doing on social media. And they made it seem like I blocked them after I reached out to them for help. And they intentionally did that because if they were to actually show the full message in context, it would prove to everyone that they actually aren't about what they claim to be about, and they don't actually care about cultivating a safe space. I'm of the belief that I think the reason why they ignored me up until last week is because they agree with the people who were saying these things about me. That's the only logical conclusion I can come to.
I mean, that's kind of like the only logical conclusion I came to as well, because it and I like the fact that you said in your video that they're like a cult, because really it is what's going on with these kind of groups that form. Originally, like, it's not necessarily a bad idea to be like, oh, let's get a bunch of women or whatever in a safe space, and like so that we can support each other or whatever that may be. But then it comes to this kind of like the diversity of thought that you're talking about. Once you are against diversity of thought, which is the most important thing, then it becomes like a cult. And when you start telling people to, not associate with certain people, or don't talk about this certain thing, or don't, whatever, like when the rules start narrowing to a point where they start vilifying you for whatever reason that they want to bring up at that point, it becomes like a cult. And it's happened so many times in so many different places that said that they weren't cults and then they ended up being cults. You know what I mean? Like, perfect example being Nexium or whatever that place is called. I mean, those places are a little bit, crazier than what we're talking about here, obviously, but it starts very little, it's a trickle effect to a point where then it becomes this like insane thing, and then everyone's like, wait, how did all of this start anyway? And this is kind of like the start of this kind of cult, the cult of personality, the cult of thinking, and how when they want to police your thoughts, when they want to police everything that you're saying or doing, it becomes insane.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And it even came out like, and it's crazy. Like, I don't advocate for cancel culture because I experience that, and I don't like that, what it does to people psychologically. But there are a lot of people who are trying to take down the entity that is Black Girl Gamers, and they're very passionate about going through their old tweets. And one of the things that people recently pulled up was a tweet from them saying, if you voted for Trump, block us and leave our community. And I'm like, how obvious can you be that you don't care about true diversity of thought?
Well, and that's how they always are, right? It's until they find that one thing, that one little thing that they can hang on. You need 9 times out of 10, it's whether it's your support for Trump or something that's based in like a feeling that, yes, women should be allowed to have their own space in sports.
Yeah.
What I just said is considered transphobic in all 50 states. So, that's at this point, and Andre brought this up too, is like, we've hit a cultural stagnation as far as pop culture and business like that, and fashion and everything else. So if you take somebody from, say, 1984, brought them to 2014, they'd have a major culture shock. If you took somebody from 2004 and brought them to now, or whatever, or 1994 and brought them to now, they might be able to adjust to certain things pretty quickly as far as like technology wise and all that kind of stuff. And their clothing and hairstyle probably wouldn't even be that abnormal compared to the other guy would have been had you moved him from the 80s to now. The big difference is you got to sit there and make a countdown as to how long he's going to say something before he gets canceled. Because that's the thing, is the way we used to think back then is so different compared to now. Nothing else has really changed all that much, but that has majorly changed. And just the fact that somebody can judge you like that, or, even if you don't even specifically say that. I've been in conversations where I was like talking to somebody, it seemed like a very pleasant conversation. And then I think I said something about Biden that was negative. This individual like shut down the conversation. They're like, I'm not comfortable having this conversation anymore. Like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard anybody say in my life.
Especially for Americans who are supposed to be like, free speech and tolerant. But, you brought up Trump, Vanessa, and like, it's so funny to me because it's like, he is just living rent-free in so many people's heads. Just today, I came across this article, which wasn't even supposed to be part of the show, and now I have to show it. But I was like, what is this headline? It was like, men punching random women in NYC, a desperate last gasp of the male rage fueling MAGA.
What?
Random NYC attacks are an extreme manifestation of men feeling entitled to women's time and attention. What is this article?
What? And people believe this. They will gobble this story
Crazy.
up. That's terrifying.
I went and read it. And it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever read. She didn't even like cite any sources of what she's talking about. She didn't, show any pictures or anything of all the people who did this, which, by the way, most of them were probably Democrats. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that they're probably BLM people. It's just very, very, it's just very interesting how journalism has become such a weird thing. By the way, when I was like reading the thread too, apparently this punching women in the face thing is some sort of TikTok
Really?
challenge or something. Yeah, like some people were saying this is a TikTok challenge that's gone like really badly, and I was like, I don't even know because I don't follow TikTok challenges. I have no idea what is going on, but apparently that's something. And I was like, what is this? So that was interesting.
Just a quick question for you Gothics. Out of curiosity, like what was the appeal of joining a group like Black Girl Gamers like all those years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I've been very open about this, but I used to think like them, not to the extreme that you see now with a lot of these diversity and inclusion people. But like when I started streaming, I started on Twitch, and Twitch is a very progressive platform.
Yes.
And when you join these communities, you are constantly surrounded by other people who have the same line of thinking culturally, politically. And so they kind of rubbed off on me, because I was starting off my stream and I was streaming for a couple of months, and then I forgot who initially came into my channel, but I started to become aware of these diversity communities from other streamers who said, hey, you're Black. If you've noticed, the top streamers on Twitch are all white cis men, and it's going to be harder for you to grow. So why don't you join a community like ours and we can help you grow? So it's literally like recruiting for their cult, and I believed it. And for a while, I was all on board. I even updated my media card at one point. I was like, I'm trying to uplift people of color with my channel, and I was just parroting the same narrative as them, and it was fine until I stepped off of the script. And the second you do that, they're done with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And what was it for people that don't know? What was it exactly that made you step off script there, Vanessa?
Yeah, well, it was a couple of things. The thing that got initially a lot of people upset with me was when I went online and I questioned why people were calling other people racist for questioning why Disney was changing The Little Mermaid to a Black actress. And that was just not even just criticizing the casting decisions, but like, why would you insinuate that someone is racist if they're questioning this actress?
Yeah.
Why is she Black? And people took that as me hating Black women. And it was just, I guess it was just a combination of things. And then when I voted for Trump, forget it. I was dead to them. It was, I mean, but yeah, I believed a lot of that stuff for a while. And, and I think a big part of that too is we are sort of conditioned by our culture to believe that our identity comes from skin color or some type of characteristic about us that we didn't even work for. And I think that's the problem is you start looking at everything through a racial lens instead of just seeing people as human beings. It's like, oh, I'm Black, and so therefore I have to hold these certain values. I have to, support other people that look like me just out of principle, and that's just not true. And yeah, they woke me up.
And and that's what they say about the devil, right? It's the devil ends up like they want us to do bad, but it ends up doing good instead, kind of thing. Like I don't know, I think I butchered the quote, but it's that kind of ideology with what happened with you Gothics. I think like they wanted to kind of indoctrinate you, but it ended up that you broke free instead, and now you're like force for good. And so obviously they're going to come attack you. It's just it's really crazy what happens today with regards to all of these things, because you also, what I want, like the other thing that I wanted to tell everyone is that Gothic's also made a documentary about all of these things that happened to her, and her journey. And I wanted to, I watched that documentary. So when I mean, I had tears in my eyes when I saw how they treated you and what the documentary showed, because it's something that we all want, right? Like we all want this place of belonging. Like we all want to belong somewhere. And when we think we found our group or whatever, we, we find that really, we hold that very dear to our hearts. And then when all of a sudden all these people reject you and you didn't even change, or you don't think that you've changed the way that they think you've changed, you're just seeing things a little bit differently, but then they totally reject you and hurt you and say the most hurtful things to you. It's one of the most painful things anyone can go through. And that really came through when I watched your documentary. And so I wanted you to talk about that a little bit as well, about your documentary.
Okay.
with all of
Yeah.
it in it.
And thank you for the kind words. I think I saw Graham, the director, in the chat at some point. I don't know if he's still here, but it's so good to
Hello.
hear that you enjoyed it. And
I
that's the effect
did.
we were hoping for too.
I did. It was very emotional. And because I know you, I think it was extra emotional for me, because I was like, I mean, I felt how you felt before with different places. So it's just, I related to that aspect of it, and about having your ideas kind of like just completely destroyed all around you. And then, the same people who are the same people just no longer accept you. It's just, it's really weird. It's a really weird thing.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, so go check out Gothic's documentary, guys. That's definitely a thing.
It is a thing.
It is a thing. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's really nicely done. All right. Do we have anything else we want to say about Black girl gamers before we move on?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, DEI isn't going away. It's just gonna get rebranded. So
It
already
already
has
is.
been.
it's okay. So there you go.
It's called Bridge now.
Oh.
I forget what Bridge stands for, but it's called Bridge because it's like, I guess they're saying like, build a bridge to a better people.
Oh my goodness, it's
To
so
better
creepy.
Yeah, it's weird. What, Tom, do you know what Bridge stands for?
We need to
Bullshit.
find this out.
Don't know.
Just
This is like the
bullshit.
perfect opportunity, though, for people to just infiltrate. There you go. Just play the game, infiltrate, and just flip it back on them. There's a lot of people that are non-white, I'll say, that think a lot like all of us. So just it's time to infiltrate. Prime time to do it. Take advantage of your color.
That's a really good point. Might as well beat them at their own game.
Exactly.
Do it.
That's really all you could do at this point, right?
I
Without
agree.
toppling the entire system that already exists. Like let's face it, it's kind of too big to fail almost. If the money isn't speaking yet, beat them at their own game.
Yeah, they got a bridge to sell us. That's exactly what's going on. Mexican Iron Man, Mikey for $5 is George the Giant Slayer, and I saw the Gothics documentary. Man, that was informative and moving and superb. Truly important work. I agree. 100%.
Thank you, Mexican
Make
Iron
sure
Man.
you link it, Vanessa, so that we can promote. it and put it in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, I'll get it.
There we go. And then Michelle, you want to read this one?
Yes. Thank you, Michael, for the $2 super chat. My new favorite pronunciation of cult as cult. I don't know how to say this.
Cult. I don't know.
Cult.
I don't know.
I tried.
We're butchering this, Michael. We're butchering this. Thank you.
Somebody must have called it a cult.
A cult.
Cult. There we go.
Cult. And then Dark King for 2 says Vatican is based on trans issues. Check out the news. Okay. I did hear something about it. Something about here it is. I just pull up the headline here. We're not going to talk too much about it because it's not really part of the show, but they did put out a statement today. Vatican documents cast gender change and fluidity as threat to human dignity. This statement is likely to be embraced by conservatives and steer concentration among LGBTQ advocates.
This was clap back for Sunday. That's my guess.
For the Easter
I bet you're right,
situation?
Tom.
Advocates who fear it will be used as a coach against transgender people. So I don't think we're going to go into this, though.
They're not wrong, though. I mean, as us like women, do you really want to be referred to as a person with a cervix?
Well, and I think that's where at least in my opinion, from observation, you guys please chime in on this because you have more to say about it than I could. But I feel like that's where the line's being drawn more than any place, because women generally are a bit more progressive in their thought. And I mean, I can understand how people could sucker you into a community like Black Girl Gaming if you're somebody, who is looking for support and you feel like you're not getting it in your own community and your own friendships and all that kind of business. But yeah, like this whole thing here, it feels like this is where women have to draw a line. And it's like, it's not about being an istophobe or any type of phobe. It's about, we're women. We have a right to our own spaces. And I think you guys are the only ones who are going to be able to stand up and say, yeah, enough's enough. We don't need men in our sports and in our locker rooms and in our bathrooms and such. They do not belong there.
Let's all give a clap for J.K. Rowling.
Exactly.
Well
I can give a crap about her Harry Potter
done.
books, but
did you guys see that person that was talking about J.K. Rowling like recently? I was like, you look like an alien. Like you don't even look human anymore.
The human Ken doll. Now Jessica Alves or whatever.
Is that what she is? Because she literally looked like an alien, or not she, because it's not a woman. Because I was like,
it's
what
a
the
dude.
fuck?
Yeah, he came to fame because he started getting like a lot of plastic surgery because he wanted to look like a human Ken doll. And then somewhere along the line, he decided, "Oh, I'm transgender," and then
it just became how it started. I didn't know that.
Yeah, just became a media circus after that.
I actually think like this goes beyond trans people, because it like a lot of women do this. And my take is like, when people are like, oh, you're transphobic, I'm actually plastic surgery phobic. Like I hate plastic surgery. I don't even like it when women do it. I'm not a fan, especially when you go over that line that starts making you look like not human anymore. We recently started calling that the Madonna.
I was going to say somewhere between human and Madonna.
Exactly. Like, you don't want to go to the Madonna level, but I mean, my God, man, this is what we're talking about here.
I don't believe that I'm a woman. I am a woman.
It's like a living blow-up doll.
Exactly, Tom. Like that's not a person anymore. It's not even like this is not even being transphobic. You're not a human.
Tom said it, but I can't unsee it.
look at these boobs too.
Oh my gosh!
Like, just stop with this.
What size
BS.
cup is that? A Z cup?
This is just like that dude that was like in the shop class guy. The teacher in Canada was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a shop class teacher. Let me get this double E freaking breasts enhancements and go and." Fucking teach some kids.
Those won't get in the way of the saw.
It's just I think there's definitely mental illness going on, and I'm not even talking about like gender anything. I'm saying mental illness definitely goes hand in hand with what's going on with plastic surgery addiction, and that goes for men and women. It's really fucked up. The plastic surgery needs to be stopped at all costs. Thank you. Next topic. Actually, wait, before we go into the next topic, let's get these couple of super chats that are here. Hillis Mallory, thank you for the member, being a member for 36 months. Says, oh, hey, ladies. So how about that Madame Web? I don't know about Madame Web, but Sydney Sweeney seems to be just doing real fine. She's She's doing great work. Good for her. I like, as if we didn't like her already. Like, I mean, even dudes, right? Like the dudes didn't like her already, and then it's just like, oh, she's so base. She even works on cars. I like her. Do you like her, Gothics?
I don't know anything about her.
Yeah,
She's
I've only
got big
seen her one
boobs.
thing. Ew, she's
That's-
working on an old Bronco. I like the car.
That's all you need to know, Gothics, is she has big boobs.
That's it.
Right? Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
I mean, as a woman, we want a little more than just big boobs. We want like a
This
big
is true.
heart, a big personality.
She seems like she's
she
got a
shows
good
them a lot.
personality.
She shows them off a lot, and she basically does near porn in some of her scenes. So she's got
She
that going for her.
100% does like basically softcore porn. I will
Yeah.
say that. I've seen some scenes of her that I was like, I did not want to see that. What the hell? But
Is that in that show Euphoria or whatever?
I think so. Yeah,
Oh.
from what I understand, people like post clips of that all the time with her getting this railed, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't want to see that. Like that was crazy. Go ahead, Michelle. You want to read this one?
And thank you, Mo, for the $5 super chat. DEI can't die soon enough, but I had a Fortune 100 client with a multi-year DEI ESG roadmap, and I can tell you if the funding isn't cut, it will never stop. It's probably true.
Yeah.
DEI can't die soon enough, but it's evolving. It's becoming something else. It's the bridge now.
Well, and I mean, it did kind of evolve throughout the years too. That's kind of what got us here. And that's how they got so many people suckered into it in the first place. That's kind of what I was saying earlier, is like it appeals to your, to your wanting to be the nice person and do the right thing and call out, bad things if you see them and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, when you start to notice that you're doing nothing but being a nanny and you're not really paying attention to what else is going on there. And I'm glad to see more people like Gothics start to see, things. And I used to be more of a lefty too before the last few years too. It's just,
I think we all were.
left me, in my opinion, is where I was at. So yeah.
I was a Ron Paul conservative, and when I could first vote, I'm just gonna throw that one out there.
Ooh.
So I
Wow.
was not.
Yeah, you were definitely like. Well, I mean, like it was more
I was ahead
central
of the
though.
curve, is what I would like to say.
Yeah, you were.
Then we got Michael Nemo next. Who wants to take that one?
Do you guys want to read Gothics? Do you want to read super
I'll take
chats? Sure.
Thank you, Michael Nemo, for the $5. Is there any data or research or futurists talking about the logical outcome of DEI in the future? I'm 54 and I just want a lesson-free entertainment. Any
I love the
research?
accent.
Thank you. I don't know what accent that is, but
It's a good question. Not that I know of offhand outside of, certain people who are into it trying to say, well, yeah, by this certain date, we'll have all these people in these positions of, and all that kind of stuff, which may actually be true, but it's at the expense of people who are should be there, right? Like, yeah, whether they're black, white, women or not, it doesn't matter to me. It's just meritocracy is where we were for the longest time, and now we've got so many problems. Like even planes are falling out of the damn sky.
Oh my God, the planes are out of control. I just heard the other day, like another United airline flight. Apparently the bathroom overflew into the cabin.
Oh shit,
then-
that's not the one I saw.
Yeah, and then they had to they had, I didn't know if they made an emergency landing or not, but basically all the people had to sit there with literal shit at their feet for the entire
Ew.
flight.
Ew.
Oh, the one that I've been seeing lately is this one here. It's about a minute, so I think we have enough time to share it.
Okay.
This is the one I saw today. This is a new, I think this is also United Airlines. So another win for them.
Okay, if you don't feel safe, get off the airplane.
This is your captain speaking, but
Oh my God.
I'll stop and we'll fly the airplane. Don't worry, I'm going to let my co-pilot fly it. He's a man.
now, pilot, board boarded in her street clothes and addressed the passengers over the intercom. Passenger Pam O'Neill couldn't believe what was happening.
She said, let's take a vote. How many of you would like to take off now with me dressed as I am, or would you prefer that I take 10 minutes to get changed into my cute little uniform? Then she started talking about her divorce and political candidates. And the minute she mentioned that, a gentleman stood up and just yelled, "Whoa, enough, you're scaring me."
Another passenger, Randy Reese, got up to leave and gave a running commentary on social media.
Can you turn it up a bit more?
Assaulted a couple
No, that's all the volume I got.
Oh.
Okay, so did I purposely offend you? I did. The answer is yes. Flight attendants, please disarm doors.
After 20
He says, I'm literally afraid of him for my life or something like that, he said.
Pilot quietly
Oh my
left the
God.
aircraft.
Okay, if you don't feel safe, get off the airplane.
Jesus.
That's
Yeah, more
unhinged.
problems for them. Yeah.
Wow.
You're talking about her divorce.
Do you guys remember Dave Chappelle had like a skit where it was like when keeping it real goes wrong? Like that's kind of what that was.
And this is the headline I was saying about United Airlines
Oh,
flight
man.
forced to turn back due to overflowing toilet, and it was in Germany. Toilets started overflowing,
Lord.
and the stretch of human waste filled the aircraft. I
That's
mean,
nasty.
this is just so bad. It's like,
What would you rather fly on, a plane with the unhinged pilot or doo doo?
like actual doo-doo.
I guess they didn't actually let the unhinged pilot fly, from my understanding. but-
Here's
Okay.
hoping, yeah.
Thank
I hope so.
God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Brought to you by DEI.
Okay, there was another topic I wanted to cover. Last week we talked about this interesting casting that happened with this young girl. Her name is Francesca Amawabada. I think that's how her name is pronounced. I'm sorry, I totally butchered her name. And Tom
That's usually when I
Holland.
just do this. I go,
She was announced as the new Juliet in like the West End production. This is not a movie. This is a play. And we kind of commented about it last week. And to be honest, most of the comments I saw was basically everybody kind of saying that she was not very good looking.
That's a
but
man, baby.
we saw a lot of those kind of comments. But then I saw this going around saying Romeo and Juliet play starring Tom Holland and Francesca. Thank you. Rivers faces barrage of racial abuse. Producer says this must stop.
Did we
so
really expect them to spin it any other way?
No.
I didn't. I didn't expect it at all. I mean, no, wait, Vex. I'm shocked. Shocked, I say. I don't know what you're talking about. Have you guys heard about this at all? Because you guys weren't here last week.
I have.
Okay, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay. I would say you're right on what the criticism that I've seen have been more about her looks. On the big scale of things, on this particular issue, I don't really care as much just because it's a play. Like, you know how many times people there's been all kinds of people of every different race, every different look play someone in one of these plays. So that's why I just, whatever.
You're just not.
I'm just kind of a whatever on the situation.
My thing is that as much as like Romeo and Juliet's been like done, and we talk about like, oh, like everything has been done and done to death kind of thing. I actually think Romeo and Juliet and Shakespeare plays in general are something that needs to be done over and over again to introduce them to the new generation. So I like the fact that they're doing a new Romeo and Juliet with, up and coming artists or like whoever is the new it people at the time. I mean, Tom Holland is kind of an it guy right now. I don't know if he's young enough to play Romeo, to be honest, but I guess.
Here's where I think we're mistaken. He's playing Juliet. And she's playing Romeo.
Okay, gotcha. I think
For modern
you're right.
audiences.
It's for modern audiences.
Yeah,
They
redone for
they
modern
should've-
audiences.
They should have switched roles. Would have been more correct. But I mean, now to be fair, like, yes, it's shallow to say she's not very good looking, but I think that's what most people are really at. Like, we were all like, oh my God, she's got a mustache. Like, she looks like a dude. These are the kind of comments that I
Look,
was
it ain't
hearing.
got
I
nothing to
wasn't
do
hearing
with the
anything about
color.
her being black. Like,
Yeah, it ain't
that
got
was
nothing
the
to do with
thing.
it. It was Halle Berry. I would die for Halle Berry. So,
You're
look,
like,
I get
yes.
it. It's nothing to. Pam Grier, absolutely fucking positively, I would die in a heartbeat for that woman. I don't even know if that's a woman. So I can't get behind that. See, I'm sorry. Nothing personal against her, but yeah, that's where I'm coming from. It has nothing to do with her race.
And this picture is actually much more flattering than the one
It
that was
is.
first put out.
is,
that
actually,
picture, yeah, that's a much more flattering photo.
I agree, because the other one, like, she totally looked like a dude.
Yeah, it was not a good pick to lead with.
I also want to point out that one of our own very panel members, excuse me, Anna, that Star Wars girl, pointed out something that was really interesting as well.
She pointed out that
She pointed out that
I was filling in.
Thank you. She pointed out that no one else seems to be having a problem with the
No.
rest of the cast who's black.
No.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't a movie, but in the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet, or the Leonardo DiCaprio one, whatever you want to call it, it was a diverse cast anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Who said
Roberto
shit
was
then?
black in that.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He was a great actor.
Also, all of these characters are like secondary or tertiary characters at most. Like some of them only show up for like 2 scenes in an act and that's it. So we could really care less about all of them. But you're telling me Romeo died for that? They're probably making fun of him after his death that he died a eunuch or some shit looking at that Juliet. So poor guy.
It was just odd to me because I saw one of the people that I greatly respect, Clifton Duncan, post about this and say that he's seen racial stuff about her as well. And I commented on his thing and I was like, I don't know. I haven't seen anything racial. I've only seen people talk about her looks as if, not the color of her skin. This has nothing to do with her. And I think like that's the part where everybody's having a problem with now is like, can we physically basically like make a physical distinction between someone's beauty and not talk about their skin color? Like, is that something that we like, can we do that now? Or is it like the skin color is part of that like ensemble, I guess, because it like she is black. So I mean, I don't know. Like, can we call a black person ugly? Like, is that allowed?
You can, but people would insinuate that you're only doing that because you're racist. There's no other reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why people are in a funk about this because this is the unfortunate reality of when you get into the habit of tokenizing characters and doing things just for the sake of forced diversity and representation. Inevitably, you're going to end up with people questioning casting choices. Like, are you casting this person because they're the best person for the role, or are you trying to make some type of a social statement? And I mean, that's unfortunate. Like, I don't think anyone should be picked on in the same way that I criticized when Disney was casting, that black actress to play Ariel. I have nothing against her. I think she's really pretty, but that's not the Ariel that I was thinking of in my head. So perhaps people were expecting something else for Romeo and Juliet. And then when you consider all the other instances where they put, a black actor or an actress in just for the message, I can see why people would have that reaction.
Yeah.
And two, like another reason why I say like I don't really care about the story. I definitely, you saw the picture that they showed at first. You're like, oh, okay, okay. But like with a play and everything, if this was a movie, it would be a different thing because let's be real, Hollywood is shallow. Like you're not going to be a leading lady if you're not really, fairly attractive. It is what it is. In Hollywood, but for plays, I don't feel like that's quite as important because you're a little further away. So I mean, if but then I get what Goth is saying too. If she comes out as a great actress, I think no one cares. At the end, no one should care at the end.
No
of the
one
day.
should care, yeah.
But yeah, so that's my take.
Tom, what are you bringing up here?
Okay, so this, and I was in the conversation with Duncan, and I thought him and I had a pretty good back and forth. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like come at me in any kind of aggressive way or anything like that. Because I
No,
mean,
no,
obviously
not at
he's a
all.
friend, and and I'm sure he understands part of the reason that people are acting this way is because it's, and he did in his statement, he didn't blame the individuals who were actually acting out either, if there were. He
Yeah.
blamed the media and the way these things have been pushed lately. So I will give him credit for that as well. So like he didn't jump to that. But we have here is she's Ada Akpala on X. I don't know anything about her. Never seen her before. It just popped up in my links here, but it looks like a few people that I follow her, and that's probably why, because they commented. But she had this pretty decent statement, and this is something that I've been saying for a while too. And she says, I feel black people are being used as mascots for DEI, and I wish the entertainment industry and other industries would stop doing this. This is not helping us. This is hurting us. Stop forcefully inserting black people into these stories and then acting shocked when people don't like it. Not all black people celebrate this or think it is winning, especially when there are new and more interesting stories we could be telling. And that's what I've been saying for a while. But sadly, until, people who aren't white men stand up and say something, nothing's going to change. So we need more of this, is why I brought it up here on the screen. And I think it's a huge part of it. And it even goes along with what, what Gothics went through with Black Girl Gamer is going through with Black Girl Gaming. And that is like this idea that you have to just like appease, the woke crowd just because, it's going to bring in some kind of virtue signaling to your project. And what did they do? They instantly jumped out online and cried racism.
Yep. Immediately. And also just hear me
just
out.
To sell tickets.
Just hear me out. Now, if this girl here was cast as Juliet, do you think that this would
Nobody
be an
said
issue?
shit. No.
I don't think this would have been an issue.
Even if it was Zendaya, I don't think, and in fact, I think everybody be going, why isn't it a movie then, as far as the younger
groups? If you would have cast Zendaya, people have been excited about it. Because again, it's a play. It's not a movie. There again, for plays, so many different people, so many different races, backgrounds have been in different plays and versions of Shakespeare. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I think it's good. I actually think it's a good thing to have Romeo and Juliet played over and over again. I actually think the new generation needs a new movie. Like, I mean, Leo is old now. Like, he was our guy. Like, that was our Romeo. We need a new Romeo and Juliet for the new crowd, for the new kids growing up, because it's important to keep, especially Shakespeare, alive in their lives, and remind them of what things used to be like.
Well, but and back to the comment that you guys had pulled up, it's kind of no different than I think I've said this on the show. It's almost like what they've done with women, where they've tried to force women into certain roles, really, and just into more male-oriented genres. They've tried to force women so hard to the extent that it's almost like I feel like they've damaged women in Hollywood at this point, in a way. Like they've almost,
you're not wrong.
They've like hurt female roles in a way because they've tried to they've tried to force upon everyone females like all the time in spaces that they're not all the time the lead.
You're not wrong, Michelle. In fact, I said this during the Woman King when a few people laughed at what was her name? Who's the lead of that movie? It just escaped me, but
what's her
the
name?
Woman King?
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis. Thank you. Right. When she come out and she said, "Look, if people don't go see this movie, they're not going to make more black female-led films." A lot of people laughed at her, and I said, no, she's actually right, but she's coming at it from the wrong angle. What she should be saying is, if we keep making more shit movies like this that are doing nothing but virtue signaling and trying to basically guilt the audience into going to see it, exactly, nobody's going to want to go see it. What have we seen here in the last year, especially with that magical you-know-what movie that came out and stuff like that? That's almost like we've hit the end of the road with this stuff, kids, because it's like, yeah, black people need to start standing up, and everybody needs to start standing up and saying, enough's enough. Quit using us as your circus freaks. We are not here to sell your fucking movie. If you want to use me as a movie star, that's one thing. But if you're just hiring me because of the color of my skin, that's bullshit. Or because I'm in a wheelchair, or because I'm trans, or because I'm gay, or because I'm lesbian, whatever it is, then they're using you for more than just your talent. And then you need to stand up and say something about it. It needs to be more than just people on the internet. It needs to be people in the industry who start saying shit, or nothing is going to change. Like all these people that are like, they're using it though. So it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, a lot of these same people that have to stand up and say something aren't going to say anything, because they're just going to keep using this to their advantage. And I know, because I've talked to people inside the industry who said that very thing. that they know people or themselves have used, the fact that they're black or whatever to their advantage at this point, because why not?
Yeah, and it's not just black people. It's also like
Yes.
the queer,
Yes.
LGBTQ people, especially them.
Well, and
Like I mean, they're
LGBTQ people already had a lot of representation in Hollywood, as I've pointed out
Mhm.
many times over. But I mean, I watch older films all the time, and they're very diverse. I don't know where Disney even thought in a million years they weren't diverse before. Just go watch a Mighty Ducks movie.
Mhm. I love that movie.
I mean, all their old classic stuff from the 90s was pretty diverse.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
already
it was.
pretty well integrated with stuff. I don't understand. Yeah, sure, they didn't have moms kissing and stuff like that, but I mean, is that what they needed now to be more progressive? I don't get it.
Well, and I think too, what gets annoying at times is they actually, in saying they're representing our society, they usually don't represent our society. Like the statistically, they don't represent it. Like, there aren't enough gay men in the real world as what is like relayed on the screen. Like
Mhm.
a good example of this, if you watch HGTV, if you were not from America, you would think that probably at least 50% of males were gay. They're
Yeah,
like
you would. It's
they're like
true.
showing way more than actually is like statistically stats and all these different things. Like it
It's
doesn't
true.
even reflect reality is what I'm trying to say here.
And it's fucking
Like
kids up.
when you see like the biracial couples in like every single
In
commercial
every
now.
movie.
Yeah.
And it's
And
like that's great if
everything.
they're in some. I know I have friends that are biracial marriages and stuff, that there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like
Mm-mm.
when it becomes every movie, there becomes a point you're like, well, can two black people or two white people or two Latin people ever get together anymore?
It's weird to me now that it's always like that. Like exactly overrepresented.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
weird.
that's what I'm trying to say there. That's
Well, and
where I think they've really worn people out in a way.
this
Mhm.
generation that's coming into the dating pool now, they're confused, right? And we're doing a report on this coming up, and it's actually a follow-up to our report about millennials and zoomers wanting their own things and no more reboots, sequels, and all that kind of stuff. This report is actually about how they want less sex in their movies because they don't know how
Oh.
to make friends anymore,
Wow.
That's
because the
really
lines have been
interesting.
so obfuscated and blurred that they don't know the difference between what it is to be a girlfriend and a boyfriend or in a couple.
Mhm.
And not only that, there's a huge leap in the amount of kids that are coming out as quote unquote bisexual now because of this stuff.
Mhm.
Because they're
That
so
makes
confused.
sense. Because they're
And they
so
don't
confused. Yeah.
and they can't have just stable relationships with friends anymore, because it's like, I mean, I even seen this interview where like this one girl was talking about like it wasn't no big deal to be, giving one of her friends a blowjob. It's like, yeah, they're just a friend. It's not a boyfriend. It's just a friend. It's like,
What?
okay, yeah, that's a little bit more than just a friend, Chicky Poo.
My God. Yeah. I have a video pulled up here that I wanted to play before we go into the next topic, but should we get some of these super chats first before we do
Probably
that?
should. They're
No?
piling up a little bit. We don't
Yeah.
want to make people wait any longer.
Let's do that. Christian Corlejo, thank you for the $5. Says, I've literally seen every kind of person playing Helldivers 2, including women and POCs. It's the best proof that you don't need DEI or bridge in gaming. Very true. Interestingly, there was something that was exposed by Mark Hearn last week, which was that the Helldivers community manager was like super woke and has like the pronouns in the bio and the whole thing, and she was apparently pushing some DEI kind of stuff, but like from her own perspective. So it was like a really interesting thing to see how like she was running her own business and her own like the way she was talking about the game, and people were assuming that that's what Helldivers was doing, but it wasn't Helldivers. It was just her like being her own self kind of thing. And it was kind of really damaging to the brand, and it was really bad to see, but that's who she is. It's not the game that's doing that. And I wonder if like Helldivers, like the company, finds out if they're going to have like a talking to with her about that. I mean, I don't think cancel culture should be a thing, so I'm not down with like people wanting to get her fired or anything like that. But it's good that people are on the lookout now to see who is talking about this kind of nonsense out there in the gaming world, and especially with regards to some game like Helldivers, because you're right, everybody's playing this and nobody cares. By the way, Gothics, have you played this yet? Helldivers 2?
Mm-mm.
Girl,
Not
get
yet.
on there. Let's go get some democracy done.
I keep hearing my husband scream every time he plays it. Democracy!
Oh my God,
okay.
girl, I'm gonna send you my Steam key. We're gonna go and liberate some bugs. You and
about
I
you,
need to
Vex?
liberate some shit.
Are you one of these?
I don't have a PC that can run it, so I haven't
It's
really bothered with it.
cross-platform. You can get it.
I
on
don't have a
Xbox or
PlayStation
PC.
5. I have an Xbox.
You can get it on Xbox. Xbox, you could do it.
I
You're
thought
cornered
Helldivers was a PlayStation and PC exclusive.
I don't know. I thought you can do Xbox as well.
No, it's not on Xbox at all.
Really? Oh, that's sad. Oh, I'm sad for you. That sucks.
It's okay. I got a
Well, then go
backlog
get a
of things I can play.
PS5. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But yeah, we're gonna have to hook up Vanessa and destroy some bugs.
Yeah,
It's
right
gonna have
on.
to happen. Let's do it. Go ahead, Michelle.
And thank you, Mo, for the $2 super chat. Gothic's accent makes me want to find Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah.
I love that show, and that was a good song. Go ahead, Vex. Did you want to read this one?
Sure. Warrior of Justice for $5. Hey, everyone, and Tom. I got a true story. Grandma Justice wanted me to help her make a dating profile so she can life alert and squirt. LOL, true story. Laughing emoji.
Oh
Wow.
my.
Oh my.
Interesting.
And
That
then Warrior
is
of
our
Justice again
resident
for $2. Yeah, that was an image. It says
comedian.
Romeo and Juliet Keisha. Juliet Keisha? I don't get it. Thank you. There you go, Michelle. It's all you.
And thank you for the $2 super chat. Why couldn't the nurse play Juliet? Who's the nurse?
I think the chick that I
Yeah, the one that you said,
pointed
yeah.
out.
The hot chick.
gotcha.
Russell
Yeah.
Hall and I were on same wave, Russell. And then Gothics, you want to get this one from Russell?
Russell Howell, thank you so much for the $2. Wait, why are the
Capulets.
Capulets and man, I can't pronounce any of these.
Montague.
Both black? Who's black?
The Capulets
the-
and Montagues are both black. That's funny.
Yeah.
The parents, yeah, which doesn't make sense.
That's the family's names
Hmm.
from Romeo and
I see.
Juliet. Did you guys ever do Romeo and Juliet like as the play in your schools? Like anybody here?
We had to, as the girls, we had to recite Juliet's, like kind of her famous thing before Romeo comes to the balcony.
Yeah.
You know, the Romeo,
Romeo. Yeah. I was in the play as well. I was not Juliet. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Nina was robbed.
I know. I felt so well. I was like racism.
You needed some DEI, Nina.
I know. I needed some DEI in my corner. I was like, of course they're not gonna cast the Persian girl with the curly hair as the freaking Juliet. God damn it! But it was fine. I like working backstage anyway. I was more of a backstage person.
Wait, they made you work backstage? They
Yeah,
didn't
they
put
sent
you
me
on the
all the way
stage?
backstage. They were like, "Get off the
Man.
stage, you suck." No, I'm joking. I was part of like one of the family people. Yeah, like background. But then I actually didn't like drama. Like I didn't like acting, so I actually liked being the backstage person. So I went to work in the basically like setting up the stage, and I liked when they would do weird stuff in the back, like when they would like make thunder and like I liked all
That's
that
fun.
kind of shit. It was fun. Yeah, I do prefer it. And shut up, Russell. Thank you. Okay. Russell Hall again for $2 says, wait, oh no, we got that one.
Yeah.
And then he said, was Romeo adopted? Clearly. Thank you, Russell. Vex, you want to read this one?
Sure. Hardcore Curtsy for $5. Great part about the 1996 was Juliet's nanny. Her accent actually really made the original text flow naturally in a new way. I don't remember
Aw.
that movie at all.
I love that movie, and that movie has one of the best soundtracks of all time. I love that soundtrack so much.
Oh yeah,
Yes, you're right.
I like that movie.
I love that movie so much. Hardcore Curtsy, welcome to the show. Really good to see you. Then we got Mike has bad knees for $5. Says, didn't we already see this movie with Aaliyah and Jet Li? Did we? What movie was that?
Romeo and Juliet's
yeah,
been
didn't we have
remade
one?
so many different ways and different times. It's possible.
Yeah.
Was
I
that
haven't
Romeo
seen
is
it.
dying or whatever is it
Yeah.
called?
Romeo
Oh, yeah,
Must
Romeo
Die.
Must
Yeah.
Die. That's
Yeah, or Romeo Must
right.
Die. That's it. That's it.
I like that movie. That was good. That was a good movie.
I haven't seen it.
It was a decent movie. Very good movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even back then, like it's like, back then it was like an okay movie. And then fast forward to 2024, you're like, this is a fucking masterpiece. My God. Like, holy shit, this is good.
Movies have, because of course we watch so many older movies, they have aged like fine wine.
Yeah,
when compared
exactly.
to today's stuff.
Exactly. Michelle, go ahead.
And Hillis Mallory with the $5 super chat question: when is there going to be a Jack and Diane play? Need to watch them sucking on a chili dog.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Really?
So I guess from
What?
the song, right?
Yeah.
Is that in the video?
It's in the song. Little ditty. And sucking on a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze. That's that line, yeah.
I didn't realize that was a line. There I know the music.
Wow, I can't believe Tom busted out the guitar.
I ain't played that in years. Sucking on a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze. Diane sitting on Jackie's lap, got his hands between his knees. Yeah.
No,
Woo,
I got
well
invested.
done.
That was good.
I could do
was.
the whole thing, but it's been years.
Amazing.
And we don't need a copyright claim.
Harker. Oh, wait. Gothics, this is on you.
Oh, hardcore curtsy for $2. Thank you. What would a new Harold and Maude look like?
Oh, God.
I don't know. Tom, do you have a song?
Okay,
for
well,
that?
no.
Also, you're echoing.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Harold and Maude, no. Like, that was the one with the old lady and the young dude.
Yeah. I remember Harold and Maude, but I don't know what a new one would look like.
Madonna and
Boy.
whatever 20-year-old sex workers that now.
Madonna
no.
and Tom Holland and Harold and Maude.
Oh no, that would be terrible. Warrior of Justice for $5. Thank you. Says, what's the difference between? Oh no, wait, Vex, this is you.
Oh
I'm sorry.
gosh.
Sure.
Thank you.
What's the difference between a priest and Woody from Toy Story? Woody goes limp when a kid walks in a room.
Oh,
Warrior.
Warrior.
Why do you keep giving them to Vex, too? That's mean.
No, I like
Goddamn.
that. Thank you for giving me that one, actually.
I didn't see. This is why I don't usually get the guests to do some, because they'll be like, "I'm never coming back to your show." What is this? Wayland, thank you for the $1.99. It says, luxurious chest hair on or pull a taint muscle.
Yikes.
That sounds
What?
painful.
Luxurious chest hair or pull on a taint muscle. I don't know why.
They
Why
both
do I have to
sound
choose?
freaking
Yeah.
painful.
At
Ow.
least you can wax off the luxurious chest hair. I don't know. I don't know if I could walk around with a pulled taint muscle for that long.
That's a good point.
That's true. Oh God. Wait, this is for Vex. So Vex, why don't you read it?
Waylon Bucephus for another $1.99. Vex needs to watch The Great Silence. And thank you for giving Midnight's Edge $1.99 to say that. He posts that in basically every stream I'm in.
Oh, what's The Great Silence? Is that a movie?
It's
Must
a
be.
Western that he's been he's been bugging me to watch, and I just keep forgetting to watch it. That's all it is.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, thank you for that reminder for Vex.
Thank you,
And
Waylon Bucephus.
Jesus is sending a rose for us. Thank you so
Aw.
much. And then this member chat just came in. Thank you. Michelle, you want to get that one?
Yes, thank you for being a member for 21 months. Shakespeare is acting showcase. No one cares about race. Does anyone remember when Denzel and Keanu played brothers and Much Ado About Nothing? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they've all been done so many different ways. I don't think that's an issue.
And Denzel was hot. Like nobody cared because Denzel was a good-looking man.
Just to throw it out there, is it possible that this, I don't know if you guys remembered, like Tom Holland on Twitter was like, oh, I've got a really big announcement coming up. And then it was this play, and everyone was like, what the fuck, man? We thought you were announcing a new Spider-Man movie. You got us all hyped up for a play in London. And that's when people started looking out at this. So is it possible that, because most of us, like the example that was just given, most of us have not cared. So is this all just to drum up a little bit of hype and a little bit of controversy? Because I believe now they've added new dates because it's sold out.
Yep.
And on top of that, I looked at who owns the Duke of York Theatre in London. And it's an ambassador theater group. And when you go to their website, on their website, one of the main pages you can click is a modern slavery and human trafficking statement. So already this is a very politically woke company, and usually these entertainment structures all get government funding. So is it possible that this is just 4D chess and we're all taking the bait?
I think so, to a point. Like that's what I was insinuating earlier, is that yes, they did this all for publicity. And I mean, Tom Holland announcing it may have to do with the whatever the agenda they have behind it. But I wondered at the time, it's funny you mentioned Spider-Man, because there's been a lot of talk about how they haven't gotten anywhere on Spider-Man 4 yet behind the scenes. So I was almost wondering if Tom took this play as a way of telling Disney, like, I'm going to go work if you're not going to do anything, and then I'm going to make a big deal out of what I'm doing. And I'm moving on if you're not going to make another Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, he's been very like public in saying though, like he doesn't want to be in acting a whole lot much longer. Like he wants to have a family and settle down. So it was kind of inevitable that he'd move on to other things as well.
But also he loves plays. Like he loves being a theater actor.
Well, that's really cool of him. He's going to raise Zendaya's kids.
Aw. He's going to be a stay-at-home dad, guys. Hey, as long
as we
as
don't know who the dads are, but he'll be their Uncle Tom.
Oh my God. Uncle Tom Holland. Oh no. This is what I wanted to show you guys. This is created by Heidi Kurtzjaka. I hope I said that right. It's hilarious, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Here we go.
Walk me through what happened, and please be specific, okay?
Okay. So I had just eaten this vegan dinner, and it was really bad. It was miso tofu, and there was this coconut bacon on top, but it was bad. It was soggy, and it was
No, ma'am, the incident. How did it transpire?
Well, I was turning this corner right here, okay? And then they punched me in the face. They took my Goyard bag, and then they flashed me their penis.
Okay, calm down. Did they look homeless?
Why would you assume that? How people steal things too?
Not really. How many people attacked you?
One.
Really.
One? But you just said they.
Yeah, I'm being gender neutral.
Ma'am, I'm conducting a serious investigation. I need you to be more specific. You were attacked by a single male.
I don't know what they were.
But it was one person.
Yes, they were one person.
And you said he flashed his penis at you, correct?
No, I said they. I said they flashed their penis at me.
So it wasn't a male penis.
I don't know.
Okay, this is, what were they wearing?
Honestly, they were dressed like a victim of this capitalist society.
Oh my God.
Right. Did they have any facial markings, tattoos, scars, beards maybe?
They had a beard.
Great. So it was a male human.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I don't know. You leave me in the desert for 2 weeks and I'd come back looking all Duck Dynasty too.
I'm not following you.
Women can have beards. What are you going to do if you find them? Are you going to put them in a custody suite?
Ma'am, I will say this one more time. I'm conducting a serious investigation. You need to be more specific. What did the person look like?
They were white. Oh, they were so white. They were white as snow, white as a fucking marshmallow, white as rice.
Okay.
White like a cotton ball, white like a bone. Just really, really white.
Mm. So maybe they were transracial.
What do you mean?
I don't know, maybe a black person stuck in a white person's body?
Oh my God. Clown World 2024, people. Okay. Oh, by the way, I know you guys were all really sad to hear that Lizzo quit. But she didn't, guys. She didn't quit at all. She's back like she never left before. And she had this to say to everybody who thought she quit.
I want to make this video because I just need to clarify. When I say I quit, I mean I quit giving any negative energy attention.
Yeah.
What I'm
right.
not going to quit is the joy of my life, which is making music, which is connecting to people. Because I know I'm not alone. In no way, shape, or form am I the only person who is experiencing that negative voice that seems to be louder than the positive. If I can just give one person the inspiration or motivation to stand up for themselves and say they quit
Just
letting
inspiring people, guys.
negative people win, negative comments win, then I've done even more than I could have hoped for. With that being said, I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep being me. Once again, I just want to say thank you. The love.
I'm gonna keep taking my dancers to strip clubs and making them put bananas up the crotches
that I've received
allegedly.
Means more than you know.
Well,
I was gonna say, where is the inspiration and the strength she gave to those dancers that she forced to eat snatch bananas, or body shamed, or emotionally manipulated and abused? What about the strength for them, Lizzo?
They need to quit, Vex. They need to quit paying attention to bad publicity that's about the bad things that Lizzo said that she did.
Just pretend it doesn't exist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all it is. All right, gotcha. You know what? This is gonna be a hot take. I'm glad that Lizzo put out that video and that disgusting little one piece that she has. Because every time she puts out one of those videos, it continues to inspire me to live a healthier lifestyle.
Well done.
So I'll take it. Keep doing it for me, Lizzo. It's giving me a lot of inspo.
Man, I wish I had the amount of confidence that Lizzo has in her body. I mean, man.
Oh,
she's confident. I mean, you gotta give her that.
That's true. She is. She's got a lot of confidence. I mean, she has a lot of talent too. She can play the flute and dance.
Well, and she's actually pretty.
She is. She's all of those things.
It's just a bigger woman.
It's just really sad that she uses her power for evil though.
Yeah.
Not for good.
That's never good.
I mean, she could be good, but she's not. She's not at all. Gothics, were you gonna miss Lizzo? Were you just like terrified that she's gonna leave forever?
I was a little sad.
Yeah.
I was a little sad. My eyes though, you showed me that video twice and I'm very offended by that.
I'm so sorry. This is why guests will not return to the show. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Oh, by the way, this is like an awkward meme that I saw that I'm just throwing it out here. It says that moment when you realize Oprah didn't bring you in for a new car.
Oh, rough.
It is rough. I was the one that said that, Nina, because
I know.
Because I'm not trying to allege anything here, but like look at Oprah's face as she like holds this girl to introduce her to this total creep.
I know, it's terrible. What a terrible image. I'm just like, oh my God, it's so bad.
That's tough.
Ugh.
I mean, we don't know what's going on, but the image does look great.
Hey, this is not even a topic, but Vex and Gothic and Michelle, what do you guys think about all the diddler stuff going on? Isn't that crazy about Puff Daddy?
Oh, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out.
I know. He still hasn't been arrested as far as I know.
I'm just more afraid that this will probably go the way of like the Epstein or Weinstein thing, where one guy gets the fall, but we all know the only reason the FBI raided those houses was to collect evidence to protect everyone else. If this were a real deal, we would have like a boatload of names to investigate. And on top of that, it's been well known for decades that rappers have been doing this shit. Jay-Z's the one that always comes up in all of the circles. Same with whatever happened to Aaliyah and the mysterious plane crash she died on in 2000 as well. So it's interesting to watch unfold, and especially people kind of gain sympathy for Justin Bieber because I think he was just a meme at this point for a lot of people. But yeah, I'm just really
That
afraid
kid
it'll
got
get brushed
damaged,
under.
man. That kid got
Oh, yeah.
damaged. You could tell, like, you could see the decline of like Justin Bieber and how like he was so like, you know, like doe-eyed and is like little young kid, and then all of a sudden he turns out to be like what we see today, and you're like, oh god,
Like Corey Haim 2.0, basically.
100% Tom.
Well, and the thing is with like the Diddy thing, that's why I say it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like, you know, people are saying, oh, he is a government plant, you know, different things like that. I don't know, but it does feel like there's enough people that have talked at this point about it that something very devious was going on.
Vanessa, any thoughts on this Diddy situation?
I mean, there's a lot of weird diddler stuff going on in Hollywood, and I'm of the opinion that a lot of people are in on it.
Yeah.
Who specifically, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see, and maybe something won't happen at all. Who knows?
Well, speaking of diddling, that's the next topic here.
Fun.
Great segue.
About P. Diddler.
The next topic is here. This is about Rebel Wilson. I saw this. This was everywhere last week, but we didn't get to it because of the whole gaming stuff going on. But I had to talk about this because this was the craziest article that I've one of the craziest article that I've ever read come out of like Hollywood. And it says exclusive never before seen footage from Rebel Wilson and Sacha Baron Cohen's 2016 film shows she was on board with that butt scene and casts doubt on her claim that he sexually harassed her. We are not going to watch this video, guys, because it is very gross. And also, I think YouTube will hit us for this. So we're not going to watch it. But I'm going to read some of this article because this is kind of crazy. Now, Michelle, if you have to go at any point, you just tell me, hey, Nina, can you pause? And then you can take off. So here we go. Footage from the scene, sex scene in 2016 film where Rebel Wilson claims Sacha Baron Cohen told her to stick her finger up his butt seems to show that the action was actually part of the script and that the actress was on board with the scene. Several never before seen clips from the movie that the brothers Grimm's failed to make the final cut have been obtained exclusively by thedailymail.com, and they depict Wilson and Cohen's characters using a cell phone to film themselves getting intimate. It's very awkward and very, very gross. But Wilson, 44, is sticking by the claims that she made in her upcoming memoir, Rebel Rising, where she says that Cohen, 52, requested that she stick your finger up my ass, while the male friends stood around laughing and recording it on an iPhone. Clips from the scripted scene, which was read and approved by Wilson before filming began, tell a different story. Insiders in the movie say in one pivotal intimate scene, Wilson's character, Dawn, slaps the butt of Cohen's character, Nobbies, and then attempts to put the finger between his cheeks. He rejects her advances, saying, "Not my bumhole, Donnie." After that, Curry last night, it's like a loaded gun. Still on a camera, but out of character, Wilson can be heard discussing the blocking, telling Cohen, "I'll do a slap of your butt, and I'll do it going down the crack." To which Cohen replies, "It's almost as if you're going to ram your fingers inside." And she answers, "Yeah." These are some of the screenshots from the actual the tape. This is the movie here. This is I forget, this is the call sheet from the movie, which they've stated what's going on there.
Yeah.
And so on. Indeed, producers tell DailyMail.com that Wilson was well aware of the intimate scene. And at the time she accepted the role of Dawn, she was fully engaged, confidently kissing Nobby. According to a call sheet obtained by DailyMail.com, the scene was shot at a stadium in Cape Town that was made to look like a bedroom. The detailed call sheets show which character would be needed, which scenes would be shot, and included a note of all caps, underlined and in bold that read, "No personal stills, video or digital photography or tweeting on set, as well as at any time, including mobile phone cameras." In a statement to DailyMail.com, Wilson doubles down on her book's description of Cohen as an asshole. It's an asshole move to release footage of one part of that disgusting episode while leaving out everything that preceded, including my horrified refusal to stick my finger up his butt. She said, this could not have possibly been the film, as director Louis Leterrier was not even present, she claimed. What this edited video shows is what I had to do in order to get out of the room. As written in Rebel Rising, releasing unauthorized and misleading behind-the-scenes video without my approval is SBC's latest way of bullying and gaslighting me. Wilson's version of the events has changed several times over the years, from claiming that the incident took place in a room with male friends recording to being summoned by Cohen and told on the spot that they need to film an additional scene. In 2017, tweet she wrote, "A male star in a position of power asked me to go into a room with him and then asked me repeatedly to stick my finger up his ass. Whilst my male friends tried to film the incident on the phone and I laughed. I repeatedly said no and eventually got out of the room." Anyways, this goes on. And this article also basically kind of goes into how she, like, basically all of this was planned and she 100% knew what was going on and was into it. All of the producers, all of the directors, anybody that was involved in this production has basically come out and said that she knew exactly what was going on. And she's still denying it and saying that they basically harassed her. So my thoughts on this is that I feel bad for Rebel in a sense that, like, I feel like she's lives a life of regret. I think she's made some decisions that she regrets, but she got paid to play a part and she did it. And I think that, regret is a part of life, but it doesn't mean that you should, come and say that you were being sexually harassed by someone if you were fully in agreement and paid for your work.
Well, and the last thing I'm going to say of the night is that, yes, I don't know the situation here. Who knows what happened behind closed doors. But basically, I think women, and if I was speaking to women need to learn, you need to know what you are comfortable with and not comfortable with. And you need to stick to it. Do not give in to something you're not really comfortable with, because those are the types that then are going to, later down the road say they were uncomfortable. But know what you are not willing to do. Don't cross the line, and this will not be an issue moving forward.
Yeah, Michelle, and also in this article, that's one of the things that Sasha and the other producers bring up as well, is that she actually went back to reshoot some of the scenes as well. So she had like plenty of time to not want to be involved with anymore, but she still went back for the reshoots and everything. And she claims that she's basically like regretful of that fact. And she's like, I hated how I felt. And she's talked about how Sasha made her feel like shit, and all of the the costumes for her were made to like make her look extra fat because that's what they wanted to sell her as, like this like disgusting fat blob kind of thing.
She can cry all day long. She was playing into that shit for years.
She was.
And the fact that these videos show that she's full of shit, all I can see is she was making shit up to sell her fucking book at the expense of possibly canceling somebody. Now, I ain't saying that, Sacha Baron Cohen can't be a fucking complete and utter disgusting asshole. right?
Mhm.
And I'm sure there's probably plenty of skeletons in his closet. But now that she's done this to him, I'll never be able to believe any woman who does come out and say anything about him.
That's an interesting point, Tom. That's an interesting point. Michelle, you have to leave us.
Sorry,
I
but yeah,
do.
Michelle has to
Oh,
leave us. Yes.
oh, it's okay. Yeah, no, guys, thanks for having me. And definitely go check out my sister and I. We did our first time watching reaction of Major League that came
I
out
loved
today.
it.
Yes.
Oh, I have to go
Oh,
watch
yeah,
that.
thank you, Tom. I saw your comment. So definitely check that out. And then later this week, we've got our first time watching reaction of The World's End. So check us out, Force Light Entertainment. But as always, it's nice being on Toxic Femme and very nice to meet you, Vex, and good talking
Very nice to
again
meet
with
you
you,
too.
Goth. So you guys have an awesome rest of your chat, and I will see you guys next week.
Thanks for being here, Michelle.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
So what do you ladies think of this Rebel Wilson? I mean, do you think she's taking advantage of the situation? And like, I mean, like, I don't know. I try to have empathy for people. Like, I understand that she may have regretted it, but coming out with this, like I mean, this 2016. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a long time ago. It just feels like kind of like what Tom was saying. It just feels like you're trying to like sell your book, and it doesn't seem. It feels very disingenuous.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it, right? She waited until her memoir was coming out to say something about it. So it's all just so she can make some money.
Yeah. The part about it too that I feel kind of bad about her is that, and I think like that's what it's designed to do, is like to make you feel bad for her. But like one of the things she talks about is this whole kind of like her journey with losing weight, and how like even her publicist and like everybody that was involved in her life like didn't want her to lose the weight because they wanted her to be this fat actress and like be typecast in these like fat roles. And she kind of like basically told them fuck you at some point because she wanted to, she wanted to be a like healthier and live a healthier lifestyle.
Mhm.
So it's weird because I kind of empathize with her in that sense. I'm like I get, because most fat people are typecast to be the fat person in all of these roles. So I can understand why she would be bitter about that. But this feels weird. I mean, and I don't even like Sacha Baron Cohen. I think he's an asshole, just generally speaking. But it's weird to try and cancel somebody from a movie scene you did. Like, this is not even a thing that happened like, behind the scenes. This is like a movie scene. You're having a problem with something that was in a script. It just feels really weird.
I'm
Yeah.
particularly.
I mean,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It just kind of seems like, because I don't know, the whole context just based on what she's saying, but like, so this scene never actually went to publish, like it never went public, right?
No, it did, but this part was like the behind the scene side of it, like the part
Basically
where,
disputing her claims in her book.
yeah, the
Yeah.
part, because they had a sex scene in this movie, and then the part about her like sticking her finger up his butt or whatever, she's claiming that she refused to do it. They're claiming this was in the script. She's saying like, no, it wasn't. They're saying yes, it was. Here's the receipts. And then it comes out, and then they release these tapes, which is really weird looking. And then she's like, "You're an asshole for releasing the tape." That's essentially what's happening.
Yeah. I don't know.
And
I
it's
don't
just
know.
very weird.
It sounds fishy, but I don't know, man.
I know, all these people are so weird.
It's a lot of the times when these women come out and claim these. I'm not saying that Hollywood has not done some pretty disingenuous things to women behind the scenes in the past, but I like that she approaches this from an angle of, I was forced to do this, not I'm an actress who got offered this role and I signed a binding agreement to star in this film, which, if anyone has seen The Brothers Grimsby, it's a raunchy, disgusting, just like
Yeah.
B-tier comedy film. It's not.
It's Sacha Baron
it's not
Cohen. He
B-tier.
doesn't make anything else. Like, he's making like, it's Borat.
Yeah. So it's like you say that you're uncomfortable, but you read that script and you accepted that role. So any quote unquote regrets you have are just now that you unfortunately went and decided to live the lifestyle you wanted and your career washed up as a result. Just take accountability for yourself. You accepted that role. You knew what it entailed.
Exactly. And then speaking of kind of like trauma on the set, I mean, I saw this article today too. Carla, well, how do you say her name? Gogno?
I can't pronounce it either.
Gugino. By the way, I like her. I think she's a great actress.
Yes.
Carla Gugino says she has PTSD from working with sexist directors. I mean, I thought this was really funny because she basically said, I went to work and I would tell a director something and they'd be like, nah, we're not going to do it. We're going to ignore you. And then my male co-star would say the same thing and they'd be like, yeah, that's a great idea. We're going to do that. And like, that's PTSD. And I'm like, PTSD? Like that's what you have PTSD, a post-traumatic stress disorder? Like, I mean, people that go to war have that shit. Like, you can't just throw around these words because somebody hurt your feelings on a fucking movie set. Like, I just feel like this is so, again, disingenuous. Like, you can't go around throwing this very big word around just because you felt like slighted. It feels
she played a porn star in 2 or 3 movies as well, a series of movies that weren't very good at all. So
she
I don't know how
did? I didn't know that.
sexist your directors can be when you're willing to play a sex object and dress scantily on camera.
Ooh,
way to go, Carla.
It's selective outrage. They're not really. She doesn't have PTSD. Cap.
It's actual insanity. The actress said in an interview, we're going to pretend this is not crazy behavior. You know what's crazy behavior, lady? Saying you have PTSD about something this fucking stupid. Yes, I had an instance recently where I needed to assert something important to me and I hesitated because I wondered if it was going to be perceived as demanding. The difference at that age is that I will just push myself to do it. Ultimately, it was received positively. Gugino said, I still do have PTSD from the career full of instances where you're acting with a male actor and you say to the director, hey, what about it if we try it such and such? And the male director goes, I don't think so. And then 2 minutes later, your fellow actor who's an advocate for you says the exact same thing. And the director's like, great idea.
Oh, boo-hoo. No, that's silly.
That person actually has the power. It's in that vein. We're going to pretend this is not a crazy behavior. What's up, Tom? What were you going to say?
I mean, she's got a point about, the director being sexist, but I don't know about the whole PTSD. Like, people throw that term around
I mean, come
so
on.
much. Like, they really don't even understand what it truly means to be traumatized. Like,
exactly.
It's the same thing when people cry racism all the time. It's like, have you ever really faced racism seriously? Like, I mean, in any real shape or form. And like, sure, you could have had the sexism happen. Why didn't she bring it up then? Why didn't she just go, I just asked you the same exact fucking thing and you said no. Why didn't she say something right there on the set and put him on the spot?
How come women don't stand up for themselves? This is what Michelle
That's what I'm
was saying.
And I get it if you're somebody who's in a position where you could be easily replaced. But my guess is this was probably on the King of Queens or whatever. And she's the second star of the show. What the hell are they going to do to her? Let me tell you something. That director is not working on that show again. Or he's going to change his ways real quick. Because if it starts getting around and you make a scene like that, be like, look, I just brought that up to you and you said, fuck off. He brings it up to you and you're like, let's do it. What the fuck? Right?
Yeah, look at
that's
this
all
line.
it really took.
Look at this line. She said she talked to Monica Bellucci. Oops. And she said, look, just fucking ask for what you want. They're going to call you a bitch anyway. Why does it do that?
Or whatever show she was on. It wasn't King of Queens she was on. It was the other one, but yeah.
They're going to call you a bitch regardless because you're a woman. I thought that's also true. Because just because we're women, they always call us a bitch. They're still residing at Boys Club, always will be. Look, I don't believe in that. I really don't anymore. I don't think there's like a boys club. If anything, it's more of a girls club now in Hollywood. I mean, men are basically banned from everything. I mean, look at the MCU.
Well, and look, she should know this already because this is one of the reasons why men get treated a little differently in Hollywood than women do. I hate saying it, but women wanting to be actresses are literally a dime a dozen.
Yes.
Like, just go into any school and go into their theater department. And it's 90% women and the other 5% are gay dudes and the other 5% are the guys who just want to get with the chicks. Right? That's literally what they are. And that's why they have such a hard time finding guys to play Romeo and shit like that in these plays, because no guys are in high school and stuff like that are into that. So you advance into the, into adulthood, there's literally a very small pool of really good actors to choose from as opposed to actresses, where you have literally, and that's the thing with Harvey Weinstein, for instance, is the only reason he went away is because he lost his power and he couldn't give people what he was promising anymore. When he still could do that, I mean, he didn't really have to get too aggressive with anybody because he knew there was just another one waiting in the outside the door that would do it if this one wouldn't, right? That's the way Hollywood always worked before that. And that was a common saying. It's like, well, if you're not going to do it, somebody else will. See ya. There's another one just like you waiting outside. Just so you know. And when it comes to men, though, it's not the same thing. Like Brad Pitts are not a dime a dozen. Sylvester Stallones are not a dime a dozen. These kind of guys. Denzel Washington's are not a dime a dozen, so yeah, sorry.
I mean, look at Denzel's son, and he's not even as good as Denzel. I hate that guy. He can't act.
No, he's not even a patch on his old man.
Not even a little bit close. Hardcore Curtsy, thank you for the $5.
I didn't mean to go off.
Oh no, you're totally fine. No, you're fired from the set, Tom. Damn it, so much sexism. Hardcore Chrissy for $5 says, wanted to say sorry. Last week I said you missed one of my messages. I was wrong. Thank you so much, ladies. Tom and the whole team. Thank you, Nina. Oh, thank you, Hardcore Chrissy, for your support. You are very welcome. And Kothix, you want to get this one?
B. Marte, $5. Thank you very much. I like the 1995 or 1996 British romantic comedy Jack and Sarah with Richard E. Grant and Samantha Mathis.
I love the way you're reading these. It's so funny. What is this? British comedy Jack and Sarah. I don't think I've seen that. I don't have to look that up.
I haven't seen this either. No.
I can tell you this. I'm really kind of nicking out for good comedy movies recently because it's like there's nothing going on in comedy. It's like there's no good comedies at all. It's very annoying. Go ahead, Vex.
Sure. Warrior of Justice for $2. When did Danny DeVito Penguin get a tan or got a tan?
Is that in reference to Lizzo?
Oh my God,
shit.
is it?
Maybe.
Oh, damn. That's mean. That's mean to Danny DeVito. Oh, snatch banana for $1.99.
What the fuck did I ever do to you?
I can hear him say that.
That's pretty good.
Snatch banana for $1.99 says, "Oh my God, that's a Lizzo reference." Where are you? Where are you talking about my girlfriend Lizzo? Oh my God. Oh my God. Gothics, do you know this banana story?
I have heard stories, yes.
Okay,
Some
so
weird
you know what's going on.
demands. Yeah, that's
Okay. Yeah.
it's freaking weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Go ahead.
Doc King, thank you so much for the $2. Disney's new remake, Diddley on the Roof.
Oh no. Oh no. Go ahead, Bex.
Warrior of Justice for $2. I have PTSD from these sexist directors. Bat Tom.
I think I was supposed to read that as Bat Tom.
Go ahead, please.
I cannot do this anymore. I have PTSD from all these sexist directors. Is that good?
I know they're so sexist to you. It's true. And then Wolverine.
I can't help it. I'm so damn sexy.
I know it's true. They just can't handle you. Wolverine Snake, thank you for being a member for 26 months. And also, he just donated $10 saying, sorry, but I missed y'all's show, showing my shekel support. LFG. Let's go. Thank you. We're going to have to kill some bugs later together. Wolverine Stick It. Fellow spread democracy. Managed democracy, that is. And we have one more from Hardcore Cursey. Can you get this one, please, Gothics with your beautiful accent.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the $5. She has all the trauma of a toddler who has only given her third most favorite flavor of ice cream.
Oh my.
Oh my God, you're so right. You know what's funny is I was thinking like, who could this apply to? And it could apply to literally all the girls we just talked about. It could apply to Lizzo.
Yeah.
It could apply to what's her name? The other chick?
Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson. And it could apply to this new chick that we just talked about with the PTSD. It's very, very apt. Now, last topic of the night is this article going around, which I feel really bad for Britney. I think she has mental illness, and this is not cool. Exclusive again from the Daily Mail here saying Britney Spears' staggering OnlyFans earnings potential revealed, and it's more than she ever made from music. I just like to point out that the first thing that I noticed about this article is who it was written by, because I was like, what kind of thirsty dude is going to go write this freaking article? And it's some dude named Jay Peterson. And I was like, Jay Peterson, that sounds like a familiar name. Like, I don't know, Jordan Peterson. So I go and look up the name Jay Peterson to see who's this person, put it in Google, and literally everything that would come up under Jay Peterson, Daily Mail writer, was Jordan Peterson. And there's no way in hell Jordan Peterson wrote this article. I don't think this is
How do you
by
know
accident.
I didn't?
Yeah.
Click on Jay Peterson for Daily Mail and it'll bring up whoever it is.
There's no way it's that.
It is. Let's see.
What does it say? It's not.
Well,
is it this guy? That's not him.
It's not the
article.
same.
Signature, that's weird.
It's just showing his articles. That's all.
No social media.
What a winner! There's no social media. There's nothing. There's no.
Yeah, that's definitely not.
I'm gonna guess it's not the same guy. Yeah, I think
no. But I also feel like that's not. They're doing that on purpose. I feel like it's just because why would you not have a profile?
Jeff Peterson or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you should have your full name written out, not like Jay Peterson. It's like you're weird.
It's like that Eddie Murphy movie, The Distinguished Gentleman. I'm probably the only one who saw it.
You probably are. I don't remember that.
He runs as a senator and he wins because he has the same last name as the guy who always used to run.
Oh.
So they abbreviate his first name, and he wins partially on just because people are so used to voting for the same person.
That's
funny.
funny.
And then once he gets in, of course, then comedy ensues. Of course, because it's Eddie Murphy. But yeah.
Yeah, that sounds funny. See, I would watch that. That sounds like a good Eddie Murphy movie.
It's kind of a lost Eddie Murphy movie. Yeah.
Now this I'm just gonna read this point form here because I can't even scroll this article because Britney's been posting some spicy ass shit that's not YouTube friendly. So here it says Britney 42 could earn more than $100 million a year from OnlyFans. Experts say. The expert, by the way, is like some OnlyFans person from Miami. The pop star's last tour, Piece of Me, grossed just $54 million in 2018, and that's pretty much it. So, my thoughts are that she is definitely mentally ill. She's doing really crazy shit online, and I really don't think it's cool for a journalism outfit to be, promoting that she should be making an OnlyFans to sell her body to porn, basically, just so that she can make more money. I mean, she's clearly losing her mind. Have you guys seen what's going on with Britney recently?
Yeah.
I've seen the photos. Yeah.
It's really sad. What do you guys think about this? Do you think she should go and make an OnlyFans or?
No, I don't think anyone should make an OnlyFans. But I mean, it is sad. You're sort of just exploiting someone who's mentally unwell.
Mm-hmm.
This girl doesn't need to be in the limelight. She needs to get off social media and live a life without trying to monetize every single thing that she's doing or whatever it is that she's doing. Because I've seen some weird things on her Instagram, but she just needs to live her life. And I think something happened with her being in the spotlight. You know, a lot of things happened probably. And, you know, I don't think it's going to make it better by you being online. And some people just want to see your downfall. And I think that's true for like recommending something like this, or not even recommending, but insinuating that she would make more money. Like, and that probably would hurt her feelings too. I mean, imagine that's how much money you can make compared to your music. I don't know. It's sad.
It is really sad. Vex, what do you think about this?
I mean, a couple things. One, conservatorship was good for Britney. Two, why is it that anyone with slightly progressive ideology believes that the best thing for women is sex work?
I know.
And
That's an interesting point.
three, I mean, the OnlyFans estimates are kind of laughable when you think about how much money Britney Spears will just be making off of residuals now that she's quit music. It'll be far more than anything she could possibly make on OnlyFans. So she's set for life. I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But yeah, I agree. She needs to just get off social media. It's not doing her any good. She looks weird. It's kind of creepy. A lot of people, I don't know if you've gone down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole of her sister Jamie Lynn and Jamie Lynn's baby daddy and whatnot.
No, I haven't.
There's a conspiracy that the father of Jamie Lynn's baby is because she got pregnant at like 15 or 16, right? Is actually Dan Schneider. And around the same time that pregnancy was announced is when the whole Britney meltdown happened.
Oh,
and that it might have been because she found out what was going on and was going to speak out. So they put her under like a psychiatric hold and just kind of disappeared her for a little while to silence her. And this is where we are now.
That's interesting that you said that thing about her conservatorship, because I was a little bit, because I was against that at the beginning when when they were trying the whole Free Britney movement and everything like that was going on. But I thought we saw a lot less of her online then. And now that we're seeing so much of her, I'm like, man, maybe that conservatorship was good for her, because she's nuts. Like the kind of stuff she posts is like actually like very mentally ill. So I'm thinking like maybe it was not a bad idea that she was being protected by her parents.
A lot of people thought I was crazy for supporting her conservatorship when it was first announced. But just look at, I don't know if you remember the K-Fed era of Britney when that was happening like in real time, but it wasn't good stuff that she was doing. There was clearly something that was not working and she was spiraling out of control. And even just the fact that her own 2 children don't even like to see her, there's another sign for you. So conservatorship was working for her to some extent. We can debate the semantics of like what that does for free will, but
no, I mean, I was against it, and I mean, I'm still sort of against it, but at the same time, I'm like, now I can see the reason. Like, I can see why that she would be under that, because it's just like you can start to see it. Before, you couldn't see it because she was definitely protected. Like she didn't even have a social media. They weren't even putting her stuff out. So people were kind of like, lost about what to believe with regards to her. But now that we're seeing her actually be out there, it's like, whoa, maybe she should have some protection, because she's like needing protection from herself. Like she definitely needs to get freaking off social media, man. That is not helping her out. Gothics, I don't know if you're saying something because I saw your mouth move, but you were muted.
Oh yeah, my husband brought me chocolate.
Oh, what a good man.
Good husband.
Good man.
Yep.
He's a keeper for sure.
Yes, he is.
And I also agree with you, Vex, about how woman's worth comes down to like doing sex work. I mean, that is just ridiculous on so many levels, that they would even suggest this. It's just all around very sad and very toxic, I will say. Now, one last thing here. I forgot to pull this up when we were talking about the eclipse.
Mhm.
But I saw this and I kind of laughed a little bit. Gothics, look at this headline. Eclipse is even gripping Black Texans. While the event will cast a brief shadow on life in Texas, it sheds a light on scientific fields that have been mainly out of reach for Black folks.
The hell are you talking about?
What?
What does this mean?
What does this
This is
mean?
an actual article.
What?
They like
What?
they tried like this guy's N Wokeness
This is
says they
not.
did it. They
This
found
is
a way
not
to make
Babylon
solar
B.
eclipse about racism.
Oh my goodness.
What's worse is it looks like it's actually written by a black dude.
I need the full context of this article immediately.
Let's look this up, shall we? Eclipse fever is gripping Black Texans. Let me write this. What was it? Eclipse fever is
I'm so confused. I need context
Eclipse.
as well.
Oh, was it on Yahoo News? I think I found it.
Yeah, I
did?
found
Okay.
it too. Yeah.
If you share it, I will.
Okay, I think it's this.
Next thing you know, black people will be getting Pac-Man fever too.
Oh, it's actually this one. I lied. Here we go. This one. Do that
And
one.
then all sorts of white
Okay.
stuff.
All sorts of white stuff.
I didn't know that eclipses were ours, but I'll claim it. I don't care.
Typical white man behavior right,
right.
there.
God, you're so white. Okay, here
Like
it
to
is.
stake our claims.
The word eclipse comes from a Greek word meaning abandonment. But in Texas, this week's total solar eclipse has had the potential polar opposite effect. An estimated 4 million tourists are expected to have flocked to the Lone Star State to see the once in a generation event, which starts in Dallas area around 1:30 p.m. Blah blah blah. Including Dallas will have some of the nation's strongest views on the eclipse. Total eclipse notably unfolds secluded corners of the globe, but this time, in addition to passing over okay, he's just talking about
Where's the black stuff? Give me the black stuff.
I think this is just a clickbait article. In all honesty,
What the heck? I'm gonna search black.
Okay, here we go.
on this-
Many black folks living in the state's largest metro areas of Austin. What? Okay, hold on.
Preparations for the event have disrupted the lives for many black folks living in the state's largest metro areas of Austin. How?
At least
What
7
about the
Texas
Mexican
counties have
folks?
operated under emergency disaster declarations for weeks. Okay. What? This has nothing to do with racism. He's talking about the traffic. What the fuck? But they can't lie. It's a little annoying, and it shakes life for the locals. That's white people too. White people
I
live
feel
there.
like this was clickbait, and I'm disappointed.
I know this seems extremely clicky.
I don't have that problem with the eclipse. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, because
He
you're a
talks
white
about-
man. You own the eclipse.
That's right.
Right. Sorry for you.
You are so smart.
Okay, 3% of what this may have been mainly out of reach for black folks. Just 3% of the workforce in these fields is
I
black.
just throw some white privilege at it.
What is the total solar eclipse? He has to educate everybody now.
This is some clickbaity bullshit.
What the fuck? He didn't say anything.
Brother punked us, okay? That's what happened.
Wow. Well done. Well done, Adam Mahoney.
Not even remotely close to what the article's about. Brilliant.
Wow.
Would that be woke baiting?
I think so.
I think it is considered woke baiting. It has to be. By the way, my new my movie that I've been looking forward to for like 2 years is this movie, Night Bitch, starring Amy Adams.
I had not heard about this until I saw this on Twitter. What is this about?
It's supposed to be about this woman who becomes like a dog or something like that, like at midnight, and
Kinda like
it
a
was
werewolf.
announced. Yeah, kind of like a werewolf, but she's called Night Bitch. And
Alright.
I don't know. I this is what we need in our lives, a night bitch like Amy Adams. So
I'll bite.
it came out like this was announced like at the height of COVID. And I was like, what is this name? And I was like, Amy Adams is attached to this. I was like, that's like, imagine being an actress and being like, I'm going to be the star of Night Bitch. I just don't even, I'd be like, we need to work on this name. Like, there's no way I'm going to be in a movie called Night Bitch. But they must have paid her a lot of money to be okay with the name. Let's get to these super chats here. ActionCom, thank you for the $5. Says the irony OnlyFans was created to bring celebrities closer to fans. Well, the interesting part about the article was that, like, the article was like, well, the expert was saying, Britney has like what was it, like 65% female fans or some high number. So what she would need to do is make her OnlyFans, but like not necessarily put like nudes on it all the time, but like have like things for her female audience that she wants to like be closer to her fans. It's supposed to be like this thing that brings her closer to her fans, not about her necessarily like doing nude shoots and whatever. But if she wants to do nude shoots, then she could get paid for it. Like, and it was just like, it feels so manipulative. Like they're trying to like manipulate her into doing this by being like, you don't even necessarily have to post nudes. It's like the devil whispering in your ear, you know, like, just go ahead and do this. You know, you want to, Britney. Like, it's just so, it's icky. It feels very icky. Go ahead, Gothics, for this one.
Russell Hall, thank you for the $2. You can't lose what's already gone.
I'm gonna like read Russell Hall's super chats in my brain with that accent from now on. Go ahead, Vex.
Hardcore curtsy for another $5. I've worked in porn. It can be lovely, but it has to be all up to you, and you have to be ready because it can follow you in ways tech is still inventing.
Wow.
Yep.
I've heard that from some people saying that it can be lovely to work in porn. Mainly from porn stars that I've watched be interviewed by Chrissy Mayer. But otherwise, not so much. You know, everybody who I've heard from is. I mean, I'm not like into porn. Like I'm anti-porn, so not necessarily the best person to be like, yeah, I'm sure it can be really great to work in porn. But I think that goes to show that kind of can be said about any work environment. Like, you know, something can be really great or something can be not great. Depends on who you work with and who you're surrounded by. Gothics, another Russell Hall.
Russell Hall, thank you for the 5. Woke baiting is when all the paid shill critics close the shades, light a scented candle, and watch the latest updated for modern audience film. That sounds like a horror movie. Whenever I see modern audiences, I gag.
I know, same here. It's like the death. The death.
So basically, the movie's gonna suck. Just say that.
Exactly. Okay, I forgot to cover one last thing. I'm sorry, but this will be short.
How dare you?
This actually goes hand in hand with this whole OnlyFans thing. I just think this is really fucked up. And this is just like something that we deal with constantly on YouTube. Is creeps like this. This is Anna's from Anna's account. She tweeted out saying the same dude that made those AI nudes and threatened me with them has now started opening accounts with my email address as another way to threaten me. The latest of the latest one being an OnlyFans dude is unhinged. This is the most unhinged shit I've ever seen in my life. This dude like literally made an account for Anna and is threatening her with it, saying, I'm going to use your Gmail to make an OnlyFans account, and I'll give you the password if you do anything I want on Skype privately alone. I do mean anything in secret, and I won't tell anyone. I made it now. Meet me in Skype and make an account and send it to me privately and video call me. I'm not camming up or talk on mic. If you do anything sexy I liked, and I'll give you the password for you to delete this account. This guy is a fucking creepo, man.
Hold on. Does he have access to her Gmail then? Like, how is he accessing the
Yeah,
OnlyFans?
he's emailing her. Like, this is her email, like her business account, like that Star Wars Girl
Yeah.
gmail.com. That's her public email that she has for her, that Star Wars channel.
Yeah.
And this dude is like taken that email and then made an OnlyFans account under it.
But no, what I mean is like, because whenever you sign up for like any website, right, they send you like an authentication link and whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So how is he getting access to the OnlyFans he just created, unless he has access to that email as well?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I don't
So this
how
is
I
all
don't see
just
how he would.
peacocking, basically. That's all this is.
Yeah. What a weirdo.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre that somebody would do this. I just feel bad for Anna that she has to deal with this stuff. I don't know if he hacked her Gmail or what's going on. I don't think so though.
It's unhinged behavior, but it doesn't seem worrisome unless he's got access to the email.
Russell
right?
Hall for $2 says, "Look, I was just trying to make things easier for her. Damn it, Russell, stop owning up to this shit because it might come back to bite you. That's not cool. This is unbelievable. But also the other thing that's going on with Anna is that she was recently canceled by C2E2. This is at the Chicago comic book. What's it called? The meetup places where people go? Convention. The meetup convention.
San Diego Comic-Con or?
No. The Chicago, that's called C2E2. And
Oh,
they
okay,
pulled her
gotcha.
press pass and everything because of who she's associated with is mainly like Ethan Van Sciver, John Malin, and Shane Davis. And I'm against cancel culture of all forms, and I don't give a shit. People should be allowed to go to any conventions and see who they're fans of. And it's not like any of these people that I just named are doing anything, that's a crime or anything remotely bad or sinister like that. So they should be allowed at a convention. And the fact that they all got canceled and her press pass got pulled is uncool. It's
Sorry, what do you mean
bullshit.
all got canceled? Like there's more than one person or?
Yeah, Ethan Van Sciver, John Malin, and Shane Davis, all of them got
Gotcha.
canceled from C2E2. They were told they can't go visit it. Now, if you're
Wasn't there something with Film Threat too or whatever?
I don't know if Film Threat was involved with that, but I can tell you this, that she went on the Aussie Overlord channel and explained this. She said this was a really good stream that she was on, that she explained this on. Also, she made this tweet about it earlier, a couple days ago, saying that she was canceled from C2E2. The reason C2E2 gave her canceling me was quote unquote diversity requirements. And then this is what they said. C2E2 has requirements to make sure that we have a wide range of diverse outlets, both local and national, attending the events each year, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So yeah, go and check out that stream with Aussie Overlord. She talks about what happened to her at C2E2. My position is just that if they could cancel anybody, you're next.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's just such an odd person to want to cancel though. Is like, I know Anna has a very big following online, but it's like she's not someone like, say, like an A-list actor or anything, right? Like she's very small in the grand scheme of things. So for her, of all people, to get her for not being that's weird. That's just really weird.
It's a bunch of bullshit too, because that's the bullshit reason they give, because apparently what happened was that she was online like on Easter talking about it, like on some live stream with Shane and all the suspects that were there, and on the same stream. And then that night at like 1 a.m, she got an email saying like your press pass is under review. So somebody was watching the stream she was on and then realized that she was hanging out with these guys and then went and reported her, and
So gross.
and so on and so forth. So It's guilt by association, which I think is bullshit. I think all of this is crap. And it's the comic book industry, man. Let people just enjoy the comics and let people enjoy the people who they like. I mean, maybe you don't like them, but doesn't mean other people don't. And it's not like these people are criminals or anything. So let their fans come see them. It's bullshit. And that's it. That's all I have to say about that. We got 2 more super chats and then we out of here. Hardcore Curtsy, thank you for the $5. Says you said it perfectly, Nina, with porn or anything. Who you are working with, do you trust them? I work with amazing people. I was so lucky. Yeah, it really depends. Your workplace environment is can change in an instant when you have a psychopath working with you, and that could be anywhere. Gothics, yay, we get to hear one last time your beautiful accent.
ActionCom, thank you for the $5. Nina, where do you draw the line between porn and an erotic thriller?
Ooh, when there's like real penetration happening. That is, that's porn. Like when
I didn't
it's like,
think I'd ever hear Nina saying real penetration. That was not.
Wait,
on my
what's
radar.
fake penetration? Can you define that for us, please?
That's another question.
When
That's my next
there's-
question. Thank you.
fake penetration is what's going on in like when you see a love scene in a movie and you're like, oh, they're not actually doing it. That's fake penetration.
Going with the motions.
That's right. But when
But
it's
there's
like
no actual ocean.
exactly. When it's real, you'll know. You're like, oh, okay.
What if it looks like it's fake penetration because of the way it's filmed, but actually it's real penetration? How do we categorize that now?
It's like implied.
Oh, it's in, all right. That's what she just said. Oh, implied.
Implied.
Implied. Oh no.
That took me a second.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer. And on that note,
yeah.
yes, I think that's a good place to end this. Except for, I think I have one more funny quick bit here.
Okay.
This song is tearing up the charts, y'all.
All right.
Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, I have a
I
funny
love the
thing we can
title
go out on
already.
too.
I got my balls to my butthole, yeah. Oh my God.
What the?
I can't take a dump, cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Good God, I pulled too hard, now my scrotum's stretched out like a fucking yard. Oh God, my balls to my butthole, baby.
Catchy though.
Is this real?
This is a real catchy
AI,
song.
but it's hilarious.
Oh, it's AI? Oh,
You
man.
can tell somebody had to have written the lyrics there. There's no way an AI would come up with these lyrics.
That's a really
Good.
catchy song.
It goes on for like 2 minutes. It's hilarious, but yeah.
Here's the last thing that I wanted to show before. This is for the ladies because I know I've been there. Don't lie. You don't have to lie on this panel. You can admit that you've done something similar. Here we go.
Uh-oh, I see this
Well,
one.
appears to be a nice little drive. Everybody's cruising to the tune, singing some songs, and it appears a little bug that gives absolutely nothing to you. And they are all freaking out as she continues to slap my face. Slap me. This girl, my God, I think it's all over. Putting other lives
I love how she retreats to the back seat too.
bug. The best part of this is not
Yeah.
the slaps, but the reaction.
It looks like it's just a fly too. Is the worst part. It doesn't even
Yeah, nothing too bad. Yeah.
The driver is helping. They're helping.
Giving her the taste of the backhand. It's about every combination of slap is being utilized here tonight, and we'll just go ahead and flip it on to Benny Hill mode. Well, it appears.
Honestly,
Steve Inman,
kudos to
by the
that
way.
mom for staying
Steve-
steady on the road though. Like she didn't freak out. So good on her.
Oh yeah, that's true. By the way, Steve Inman, he's a national treasure, guys. If you enjoyed that, he does voiceovers for fight scenes on videos. It's a fantastic account. Go and follow it. And that's it, Tom. That's the show.
Yeah, I want to thank Gothics and Vex for hopping in tonight. It was awesome to get to hear your guys' stories and takes and all that business. And the voice, also Gothics, I understand now.
Thank you. The
Listening
voice is
all night
always
long.
available to you.
Awesome. And yes, so anything either of you want to plug specifically on their way out?
Nope.
Fair
Follow
enough.
me. Follow me on Twitter.
She's got a
YouTube.
documentary.
I got a documentary. Go watch it on
Watch it.
Lore.tv. Use
There
code
you go.
Gothics. There we go.
I'm gonna put it in the chat again. Watch Gothics.
You the best.
Go watch it, guys.
Yes. What about you, Vex?
I'm on like 5 or 6 streams a week, so just follow me on Twitter or YouTube. Both my handles are Vex Electronica, all one word.
There you
So
go.
thank you for having me. It was great to be here
Awesome,
and to
yeah.
finally meet all of you more personally.
Yeah, so
Same,
fun.
same.
You're gonna have to come back. You're gonna have to come back, Vex.
Give
you
me
were
a
great.
date and we'll figure it out.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
Awesome.
All
and
right.
Wolverine
And-
Stickit just gifted 5
Wow.
memberships to the chat.
Thank you.
So much. And then Russell Hall, one last super chat here, says, what if the penetration is visible, but it's CGI?
It's fake news. Fake news.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fake news.
Huh.
Once again, my answer is yes. And with that, we can go. Oh, that's good stuff.
All right. Anything you got to plug, Nina?
My Wednesday show. I think this week though, I might be weaving it out. Hang on, let me check real quick. I'm either doing Breaking the Narrative with a really cool guest, or I'm weaving it out. Yes, I'm weaving it out with the Legal Mindset. We're gonna talk anime,
Fucking interested. Hey.
old and new. Come and hang out with us at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about it on my channel, and actually, we're going to do it on YouTube as well because hey, it's anime, so we can talk about anime on YouTube. So that's what we'll be doing on my channel. Going to hang out with the Legal Mindset and talk about anime. And Friday, of course, my good news show, Infinite Hope. If you're in need of some hope injected into your veins, come and hang out with me on Friday and let's talk about good things. And that's
There you
it.
go.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. All right. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.